I'm gonna skip. John Stockton took some shots at LeBron James, and I'm not gonna skip it. I want to play the clip of John Stockton talking about LeBron James didn't climb the mountain. He took a helicopter to the top. Let's play the clip.
I mean, I like kind of brag on Michael Jordan here a little bit, and I think we were a similar ilk with the Jazz. Is I like where guys just tighten their belt up and say, you know what, let's go to work. We just got to get better. Yeah. We got to play harder. We got to play smarter instead of just, where's the grass greener? I'm going to go there and win a championship. Yep. I think it devalues that. You're not climbing the mountain. You're taking a helicopter to the top of the mountain.
Agree.
So,
that to me, when Hall of Famers that are generally speaking pretty quiet, want to be ignored, just sitting out in Utah, when they're taking shots at you at the end of your career, like he just took at LeBron James, this is an indication of LeBron's legacy, I think, is going to diminish in retirement, not elevate. And Michael Jordan's reputation and legend has elevated in retirement. It was already high when he was done. People considered him the GOAT, but that case has only gotten stronger. Steve, I don't think retirement is going to treat LeBron James very well as it relates to his legacy and reputation in the NBA. This GOAT debate, I think 10 years from now, people are going to be saying, LeBron was probably fifth or sixth. He will drop out of the number 2 deal. Your thoughts?
Well, this much is clear. John Stockton does not work for Clutch Sports. He will never work for Clutch Sports. He may never get a media job that is funded by Clutch Sports. This is the ironic thing. LeBron's plan to longevity his way or his status to being the greatest of all time by playing many more years and amassing numbers and then hopefully picking up titles has actually backfired the last 3-4 years. And look, if you look at every other sport, just because you have the most amount of yards, touchdowns, home runs, goals, doesn't necessarily make you the greatest. And to be fair, winning the most amount of championships does not necessarily make you the greatest, because in that case, it's Bill Russell and it's the end of argument. There is no other argument then, right? And LeBron James and his team's agenda to go out there and overshadow Jordan by sheer volume has absolutely backfired.
Backfired. He's actually going to leave the NBA. Let's say he decides this is his last year and he's going to do a tour or whatever. I don't know if it's going to be the kind of great celebration that he anticipated. I think people have held their breath as it relates to who LeBron really is. They haven't really said it, and they all know it, and they don't like the team that LeBron, I'm talking about his off-the-court team, that he put together and forced on the Miami Heat, forced on the Los Angeles Lakers. If you just look at the way the Lakers are handling the end of his tenure with the Lakers, people have been holding their noses and tolerating LeBron, and now that it's near the end, it's going to turn a bit ugly for LeBron James. This is going to be a crash landing rather than a smooth celebratory landing.
Well, I think it's already in a free fall. I think the Bronny thing started the free fall. I think people around the league are looking like, yeah, you're LeBron, but you're not 27-year-old LeBron. You're not even 34-year-old LeBron. Like, you're an old man now who's dictating and destroying the Lakers because you want your son to play, and look what's happened. And so, they got Luka, but it's like the discussion this offseason is, hey, how do we unload LeBron? Or can we unload LeBron? Can you imagine that discussion happening for Michael Jordan? People were distraught when he left Chicago. And he said, hey, if Phil ain't here, I'm leaving. This is crazy. And nobody's ever asked Michael Jordan to leave any room he's ever been in. LeBron, they're like, hey, Cleveland probably wasn't that sad to see him go in the end. I'm not sure Miami was that sad to see him go. What team has he left, besides Cleveland the first time, that people weren't like, not so bad, we can move on and be okay?
Yeah. And, Miami hasn't won a title, but they had a successful organization without LeBron. Cleveland hasn't won a title, but man, they got a good young core around them. And now the Lakers, they got Luka Doncic and are going to be fine, relatively speaking, without LeBron James. All right, finally, I want to talk a little bit about Howard Stern. And I know this isn't a sports topic, but Howard Stern just got canceled by SiriusXM. They're not going to renew his contract. Howard Stern is perhaps the most fraudulent, disappointing media character. When Howard Stern was at the peak of his career, I saw the movie Private Parts. I read the book Private Parts. I had respect for Howard Stern. It's not that I thought he was the ultimate, but I thought he was authentic. He was politically incorrect. He was a shock jock, and he was the best at that. And then 10, 12, 15, this guy pivoted into this woke clown. And I think what I find fascinating here is that I think it's the return of Donald Trump and the sea change around Donald Trump that is why SiriusXM is moving off of Howard Stern. That the culture no longer supports something as inauthentic as Howard Stern, pretending he's some woke. And for some of you young people, I just want to play a couple of clips just reminding people of who Howard Stern is. But before the last decade has spent pretending to be some Black Lives Matter woke clown. Here's Howard Stern. Let's play shot number 10. This is Howard Stern in blackface.
Everything I'm going to say here tonight, so it's all right. Ain't that right, you smelly nigga?
I didn't write that.
Well, you is a smelly nigga. I got some more jokes for your New Year's Eve party there.
You're not tired of this.
And don't be racially offended, because Whoopi done wrote them for me, okay? Here we go.
Go ahead.
Black hole.
Black hole.
You're gonna love this. Hey, look at that. What do I loves most about the Whoopi? Yeah.
Such a great timing.
Hey, Robin, what does you call a black rocket scientist?
I don't know,
A
Jack.
nigga. Whoopi wrote it. Whoopi wrote it. Hey, did you happen to notice this?
No, what
this
is that?
This here is my mother, Mama Dancing. Why, she done working blackface, too.
She must be very proud.
Yeah.
Now I know you really love me, Ted. You the man.
I tell you, you the man. What done happened to Sherman's career? It's really over the end. I want you to give us a kiss, you smelly cog-haired coon.